going. Alrighty. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Supply Chain Events Update. This is a thing that we do every Monday where we talk about the events going on in the supply chain industry, either this week, this month, this quarter. And sometimes we have the honor of having special guests come on and talk a little bit about the events that they are hosting and putting on. Sometimes we just have to deal with just me on a paddleboard trying to do ridiculous things talking about events. But this particular edition, we have John Thornton calling in from the UK. He's the editor-in-chief at Akabo Media. We're going to talk a little bit about the events that they're going to be putting on here in Dallas here in the fall. John, welcome to the show. You want to give a quick little background on yourself and Akabo and the event?
Yeah, sure thing. Well, thank you, Nathan. I'm John Thornton, editor-in-chief at Akabo Media. I work across our editorial platforms and events, which include Logistics Manager USA, the Supply Chain Excellence Awards USA, and IntraLogistex Dallas.
Okay, all right. So you've actually been, you're one of the few folks that are on right now chatting with me that have actually been on my podcast. So that's actually kind of fun. We seem to be bumping into each other multiple times virtually, but I'm not sure if we've actually met each other in real life. I think.
No, not yet, but hopefully this September.
Okay, coming this September to an exhibit hall near you. All right, so you've got a few things on your plate there. Let's unpack and talk a little bit about specifically the show. I guess you all have started IntraLogistex not here in the U.S. though. Kind of give a little bit of the history maybe of the whole event series.
Yeah, sure. So IntraLogistex is our flagship warehousing exhibition here in the UK. It started life actually as 3 regional shows across the country called Logistics Link. And those 3 shows were eventually united into one national show that we now know as IntraLogistex, which takes place every year at the National Exhibition Centre in Birmingham.
Okay.
It's 11 years old now, and it's our biggest trade show.
Awesome. All right. So yeah, just taking a quick peek at that. So at some point you're like, hey, this is going well. Let's go do this in other places in the world.
Yeah, exactly. So, 3 or 4 years ago, we decided to broaden our horizons, I guess you could say. And we've taken our brands, our editorial products, our events outside of UK and Europe and into the US. So, yeah, 3 or 4 years ago, we launched IntraLogistex USA in Miami, Florida. And we've done that for 2 or 3 years now, and we are now bringing the exhibition to Dallas, Texas.
Okay, all right. Back over to my backyard here. You've also got something else attached to this, the Supply Chain Excellence Awards, it seems.
Yeah, that's right. So, what we're building in the US is actually really exciting. So, we have IntraLogistex in Dallas, as we've just been talking about. We have the Supply Chain Excellence Awards USA, which is, that's our big awards platform. That's me. Yeah, that is me. So the awards are part of a wider brand with a 30-year heritage, actually. Okay. Over here in the UK, they're celebrating their 30th anniversary this November. But in the US, they are now 3 years old, and we've taken what was a standing start 3 years ago to I dare say the USA's largest supply chain awards now.
Okay. I like it. And so that's all going to take place. I think that's the night right before the exhibit begins.
Yeah, correct. So, the awards and the exhibition and logistics manager are all part of Dallas Logistics Week.
Okay.
And that's about bringing together 3 things that the market needs. That's trusted editorial insight through the magazine, industry recognition through the Supply Chain Excellence Awards, and a live marketplace through IntraLogistex Dallas.
Okay, all right. I like it. Wherever there's a couple of supply chain people getting together to talk shop, I always want to be there. So I appreciate being able to get involved this year, and particularly with it being here in my backyard here in Dallas. That's makes it extra special. we're still a little bit early on right now. So could we talk a little bit about, I guess, what's the call to action, or what's the messaging currently? Are we kind of focused on just talking, filling up sponsor booths and ways for companies to get involved?
Yeah, so we have a number of companies who are already part of IntraLogistex Dallas, but there is still very much time to be part of the trade show and the conference. And it's really for people who are responsible for logistics and warehousing, fulfillment, manufacturing, operations, automation, and supply chain transformation. What we're trying to do is connect senior buyers with the technologies, the systems, the services, and the ideas that can help them improve performance in live operations.
All right, all right. And I believe that, if we look at this from an attendee perspective, this is one of those events that doesn't charge attendees to attend, or how does that work?
No, so the value for visitors is really simple. Registration is free, the conference theatres are free to attend, and the show gives people a concentrated opportunity to see new technologies, hear from senior practitioners, and meet suppliers who can help them solve real operational problems. For anyone responsible for warehouse performance, automation, logistics operations, or supply chain transformation, it's a very efficient way to understand what's available, what's changing, and what other companies are doing.
All right, all right. Maybe before we get into the next sort of, if you want to say, chapter of the show this morning, how is the vibe? How is the feeling on the streets there in the UK for the current World Cup standings for your boys out on the world stage?
Cautiously optimistic,
Okay.
I would say. Probably haven't been playing to our full potential, but grinding out results nevertheless. And here we find ourselves in another semi-final. So
Hmm.
you never know when it gets to this stage of the competition, anything can happen. So fingers crossed for Wednesday.
All right. Best of
Yeah.
luck to you all. Let's move over and just talk about, I guess, a little bit of just what's going on in the bigger neighborhood in events. Quick shout out to Century Supply Chain Solutions and Element Logic, our partners that are supporting the events calendar this month. It's a little bit of a slow week in events. I think it's just because we've got the summer period on, and a lot of folks are just taking it slow, going to the beach, spending time with families. So maybe a couple of things to call out is this week on Thursday, we do have our monthly Supply Chain Social Club virtual event. This one is particularly situated so that it is morning time, and we're drinking coffee here in North and South America. And in Europe, Middle East, and Africa, it is afternoon time. It's about 5 p.m. over there. So this is truly a transatlantic supply chain networking event. There is the folks up in Lakewood, which is right on Lake Erie, hosting an event, also a happy hour. And there's a few other things. You can see Gartner, you can see some other things coming up soon. I would all just call your attention to SAPIX. I will be taking off for South Africa on Friday. So today's Monday. Friday this week, I'm taking off to Cape Town to participate in my first SAPIX conference down in Cape Town. And I'll actually be sharing the stage with Boto, who is a podcaster from Botswana. And we're going to be talking about the upcoming voices in supply chains, mostly like content creators and podcasters, and how we're approaching supply chain. Speaking a little bit of just where I'm going to be, as I just mentioned, heading to SAPIX on Friday. But before then, I'm going to Top Golf here in Dallas with a company called Zmark that are hosting a driving range and a bit of a networking event. And then it's a little bit of time in Chicago for IWLA. The Distribution Management Association is getting together in the West Coast in Ontario, California, and I'm emceeing their annual conference this year. Of course, we've got IntraLogistex that'll be in Dallas and the Supply Chain Awards. ASEM is getting together in Long Beach, and then in Norfolk, I'm going to the Virginia Maritime Association's conference. It'll be my first time to go to theirs as well, and excited to be there. John, what are some other events and things kind of that are on your to-do list here in the next, I guess, between now and when y'all are coming over to Dallas?
Yes, so at the moment we've just come through a major part of our event season over here in the
Hmm.
UK. So we really are gearing up for Dallas Logistics Week in September.
Okay.
That's our next big focus for the company, and it's gonna be a fantastic week of events. With the Supply Chain Excellence Awards taking place on September 15th at Union Station in Dallas. And then the very next day, IntraLogistex Dallas opens September 16th and 17th at the Kay Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center. So those two events with Logistics Manager magazine also in town, it's really shaping up to be, a packed week of well, supply chain recognition and just exploring what comes next in the sector.
Nice. Okay. Well, thanks for jumping on. I know that it's the end of the day for you over there, so appreciate you spending some time. I'll catch up with you soon between now and September maybe, and if not, I'll be there at the airport to greet you with some brisket and barbecue or whatnot at the airport when you land.
That sounds awesome. I'm going to hold you to that, Nathan.
All right. Take care, John.
Thanks a lot. Take care. See you soon.